Hair is very cute today. But that's not why we're here. So I realized, because for one, people were asking me a lot, and also for two, I realized that almost no one in spiritual community, not no one, but like very few people in the spiritual community know what runes are. So today I'm going to do a short video, maybe a long video, explaining how runes work, what they are, what they're for, all that sweet stuff. Well, I will say, for starters, runes are just like tarot, where you have your tarot cards. We have rune stones. Rune stones, when they're done in a reading, is usually called a rune cast like magic. So when you ask for a rune reading, or when someone's talking to you about a rune reading, they're not called rune readings, they're generally called rune casts, because you are casting stones. Funny how the Empress is still on the bottom. Let's just put that back. So the thing is with runes is they're pretty much exactly the same as tarot. With tarot, all the cards have generalized meanings that can be narrowed down. For example, the pentacles generally always refer to abundance, like financial or self-worth. The swords, to me, always kind of mean like plan of action. Wands are, actually like your mental stability towards that action. Cups are emotions. Like, it just really depends on what the reader thinks. But tarot all generally have their own meanings. There are 79 cards in tarot, whereas with runes, I believe there's only about 25 or 26 of them. I think there's actually less. I think it's 24. I will put a disclaimer here. Here's your disclaimer. I have been doing rune casts and rune interpretations as well as dream interpretations, but rune readings I've been doing since I was 13 years old. Whether I've been doing them perfectly accurately to how other rune readers do them, that's to be seen. I'm not actually sure if I'm doing them the way that they're supposed to be done. But all I know is that the people that I've done runecasts for, it's always been accurate, it's always resonated. Usually there's always like that one or two people who are just like, this doesn't really resonate. But generally my readings resonate. I can confidently say that. So as a disclaimer though, if I pronounce the names of these runes incorrectly based on what you've heard other readers say, don't worry about it, because to me, then it's not the names that really matter, it's the fact that you know the meanings of them. What I'm here for is to teach you how a rune cast works, not to tell you the perfect way of doing things. Because at the end of the day, we live in this world, we live on this earth, we live in this universe. Nothing is ever perfectly done. As long as you are doing it with good intentions, that's really all that matters. So I'm just going to tell you right now, we have a rune bag instead of having a deck of cards. All runes usually come with a bag. The bag is where you hold the runes. Generally, it has the drawstring, so you keep it shut so none of your runes are spilling out all over you. There are two main ways that people do rune casts. The main way that most people do it is they shake the bag and let the runes fall out on their cloth. Just like with some tarot readers, they shuffle and wait for the cards to fall on their own. Some people will open the bag like this, reach in, feel around until they feel a rune that calls out to them. For example, I pulled out this one. This one is called Daig. It's all about breakthroughs, new beginnings, things coming together. One thing I will say is a lot of the runes, similarly to tarot, will have very similar meanings. It really just depends on how the rune cast is read. So usually some people will reach in the bag, pull out a rune that calls to them, set it down, go to the next one. What I do is not that. My personal way of doing runes is I like to, just like with the tarot deck, I just wait for the cards to fall as they may. I don't do a certain pattern. I don't do a certain setup. I just let the runes or the tarot cards or the oracle cards, whatever I'm reading with, whatever divination I choose, let it fall as it may. trust in the process and what Spirit wants me to tell you in the way it wants me to tell it to you. So I just shake the bag until I am ready to release the runes. It's going to make this loud noise. Some people find it irritating. I actually like that sound. It's really nice. Like it feels like it's channeling something, you know, because noises can channel. So you just shake it until runes come out. I just decided to shake it a little bit more. There's only 3 runes that came out. And to be honest with you, that's all it's necessary, really. In some rune casts, it doesn't really matter how many runes you have. It doesn't matter how many runes you don't have. What matters is what the runes are telling you. It's just like when you do a tarot reading. I try to do, when I do paid readings, at least 5 tarot cards. And when I do rune casts, I do at least 3, because I feel like when it comes to runes and tarot, at least 3 or 5 is good enough to give you a solid basis of what your intuition is going to lead you to. So the first rune that came out was this rune. This is called Ansuz. I'm probably saying that wrong. That's okay. So Ansuz is a messenger rune. And that's basically saying Spirit is trying to tell you something. But also, it's also about you trying to tell someone else something. So far, this is kind of a general reading for the collective. This can apply to anyone. So if it resonates, please let me know. But generally, yes, this rune is the rune of communication. The rune of insight and truth and wisdom. I do have a cheat sheet here, just in case you're wondering, because just like with tarot has 79 cards. I don't think it's very easy to memorize every single meaning. And same thing with runes. It's kind of difficult sometimes because we all have lives. We all have things we go through. But anyways, just keep on track of what they were talking about here. Ansuz is communication. So what I'm getting from the reading already, like right off the bat, is that someone is coming to you with communication, with wisdom, with truth. Something that this person may have been holding back, something this person may have been trying to communicate with you and just couldn't find the right words. There can be a lot of meanings, but this one is a communication room. This is answers, literally. Ansuz, I think answers. This person has answers for you, wisdom, insight for you that you didn't have before. This person could be close to you. This person could be someone you work with. I heard the word representative. So I'm generally channeling that this person represents something to you and that their message is going to be very important, very powerful. The rune I got after that was the name of it. See, again, names are not really that important, but I try to memorize. It's Nothus. Nothus is a rune that is one of those runes that actually tends to scare people who do runes, or I shouldn't say people, I should just say me. It scares the ever-loving crap out of me, because for me, this rune is compulsion, it's necessity, it's hardships, it's delays. It's similar, not to the Tower, but it's a card that basically tells you that something's coming, that it's gonna test you on how willing you are to take the next step in your life, to move forward. And it's a necessity, it's compulsion. You have to do it, but you also have to stay true to like whatever it is that you have been struggling with. You need to stay true on your path. You know, if someone's coming in with communication that might trouble you, might delay you, might make you wonder if you've been doing things wrong, might make you question what your path is. And this is telling me so far that this is a test to you. This person's coming in communication, this message, this answer that you're going to get is going to test your ability, your awareness of your situation and how necessary it is to you. Because oftentimes when we get on our paths of things that we're manifesting, things that we want, we tend to question ourselves, especially when something happens, someone says something to us that makes us question our every move. And it's just saying to me that you're going to be tested, or you are being tested right now. on how willing you are to stay on your path. And the funny thing is that in this kind of rune reading is generally a past, present, future. The past being someone said something to you, and the test is right now is your compulsion, your ability to stay on that path, your ability to stay solid in what you need to do. And what's interesting is that we got the very elusive and strange rune, which is actually blank. It's the only rune that is a stone that's blank. Runes are generally the markings, not the stones themselves, but the markings. But this stone is the only one that's blank, and its name is Woden, or Odin, the god of wisdom, the main god in Norse mythology. But he is a rune, and his rune is blank because it's the rune of the unknown. It's the rune of absolution. So basically, this is saying that this is definitely something that you need to stay on. You won't know what the future holds, and that's the point. The point is to not know what's going to happen next. The point is not to know who's going to be next, what's going to happen, because the point is that you're being tested right now to see how willing you are to stay on your path, to stay doing what you've been doing, because it's not about, the journey is not about where you end up, it's about how much you've learned on your way there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the other method of rune pulling. It's rune pulling, not rune casting, to kind of confirm what's happening here. So this other rune here, right here, it's the thorn. That's actually what the English word for it is. I always memorize them by what they mean to me, how they call to me. This rune specifically is it's on this listing twice. That's funny. Theresa, the thorn, change, catharsis. Interesting. So this situation is definitely going to change you. This situation is absolutely going to happen. There is an unknown about it, but it's definitely going to change your perspective. It's going to give you insight. It's definitely going to give you insight because someone's coming in with that communication rune that we got, and it's definitely going to test you and see if you are going to change. We didn't get this in reverse, so definitely this is a positive change that's going to happen to you. I'm going to pull out another rune. There's two runes that look like S's, so it can be a little confusing. This one specifically is Swulo, or sometimes Sigil. I prefer saying Sigil. I think Sigil sounds a little cooler. It's the sun, it's strength, it's energy, it's success. So you're definitely going to see some alterations in your journey. You're definitely going to see something shift. And I feel like what this is saying is that this is definitely saying this communication is going to test your emotional positivities, your stabilities emotionally on this journey, because I'm getting the feeling that this journey might have already been really difficult for you. And this is saying that it's going to be really positive. That thorn is going to be a thorn in your side. It's definitely going to be something very apparent to you, very obvious to you, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to be for the better because of this sigil right here. I'm going to pull one more rune just to see what we get. Just to kind of solidify what's really happening here, because this already feels very generalized, and we want a little bit more specification with our general messages. We try to be as specific as possible on this channel. And then finally we got this rune. This is Algus. It's elk. They all have like sort of like, you know, old school meanings. It's an elk, it's an animal. It can mean protection, shield, and self-defense. It's very interesting to get that kind of rune with this positive change that we're seeing here. I'm definitely seeing that it's saying that, you know, I think that this compulsion here and this Algus here really go well together, because it's saying that you need to stay on your path. You need to defend yourself in the sense that you need to make sure you know what you're doing is right for you. It's going to turn out really well. Things are going to alterate a little bit. It's not going to go exactly how you think it should. So definitely release expectations, but also keep yourself grounded, keep yourself protected, keep yourself safe. don't let negative thoughts, don't let negative communication, don't let this affect you negatively, is what it's saying. I generally get the feeling that someone's going to come in with communication that's going to test your ability to stay true to your path. And from what I can tell, you're going to stay true to your path, and it's going to make you question yourself a little bit, maybe. It's definitely going to test your vitality in the situation, your strength and your ability to move forward, but you're definitely going to be able to move past whatever this communication is. And hopefully this communication is not any like horrible legal stuff. It might be for some of you. I do get the sense that someone's going to be having some communication on setbacks where it comes to finances, when it comes to romantic gestures. Like, I just feel like there's going to be some sort of setbacks, and it's going to definitely test you. It's going to test all of us if it applies to me at some point. But that's generally how rune casts work. That's how I do them. There's no specific pattern here. I just have 6 runes, but the message is what matters most. It's never the style, but generally, yeah, we're getting some sort of test soon. I feel like the universe has been testing a lot of us anyway. But hopefully you enjoy runecast. Hopefully you will start asking me for runecast. It's okay if you don't, but hopefully you guys understand runes a little bit better. I will be uploading more rune videos at some point because I do think they're really awesome. I've been doing them since I was 13. I think they're really cool. So I will definitely be doing that in the future. Hopefully this resonates with you. Let me know if it does. I'm kind of curious if it does. And thank you for watching.